Welcome back to Spanish Quickie, where we try to get you in and out with new Spanish vocab in a flash. Today, we're talking about azo. The most famous azo is perhaps the chanclazo. Azo can be used for when you are struck by a certain object. It can be used to say something is big, and it can be used to talk about how something is of bad quality. If I receive a chanclazo, that means that I probably got struck, hit in the head by my mother with her chancla, with a sandal. This is perhaps the most feared weapon that Latina mothers can own. Search for it on the internet. Chanclazo. If I get struck by a bucket, that's a cubetazo. Now, when you get struck by something, this object can be either thrown at you, or let's say if this bucket had been hanging up somewhere, I don't know, over some rafters, had some water, maybe waiting for somebody to walk by and get hit by it, but it was kind of low, I hit my head against it, I could give myself a cubetazo. It doesn't have to be dropped on me. If I'm talking to an old lady and I call her old lady to her face, she might give me a bastonazo. She might hit me with her cane. But imagine that she doesn't strike me and I visit a town with the world's largest cane. If it's really big, then I'll call it still a bastonazo. If something is really big, you can add the azo ending to it. Now, these things that I just mentioned, most of them have been masculine, and all you do is add azo to a word that ends in a consonant. If it ends in a vowel that is not tonic, which means that it is not stressed either in speaking or in writing with an accent. So if it's not tonic, you take out that vowel. Chancla, chanclazo. We took out the A at the end and added azo. Something like perro. If you have a big dog, perrazo. You take off the O for perro and then you say perrazo. Add the azo. Now, if you know the dog is female, you can say perraza. But with azo, you can also be talking about how the item or the thing you're talking about is not of good quality. So if this is a stinky dog that I particularly dislike, then I could call it a perrazo. If you give me a telephone that has Android 4.4 on it in 2019, I'm going to call it a telefonazo. If you hit me over the head with it, that's a telefonazo. If I visit the world's largest mobile phone out in the middle of Nebraska somewhere by the side of the road, that's a telefonazo that I see. So it's a very useful ending. We might be very particular about when we add or which words we add azo to. So pistoletazo is what we use to say a gunshot. We use pistolete usually, and pistolete is like a pistola, but it's a smaller gun. So sometimes just some combinations sound better to native speakers. You can come up with your own new words using azo, depending on especially the big item that you just saw or something that you just got hit in the head with. If you add azo to it and it works, you will know if a native speaker doesn't bat an eye. But if there's a better option, I'm sure they'll let you know. Adios.